Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Far Cry 3 never lost its magic. Even after all these years, people are still replaying this game, recommending it to their friends, and calling it one of Ubisoft's best games ever made. But why? I replayed the entire game again to find out. And honestly, I think I finally have the answer. One of the first things that surprised me wasn't even the graphics. Yeah, you can definitely tell the game is aged, but honestly, Rook Island still looks phenomenal. What really surprised me though was how quickly I got immersed into the game again. The opening still does such a good job introducing Jason and his friends, and then out of nowhere you meet Vaas in that prison cell. That moment still gets me. You're immediately sitting there thinking, oh shit, this guy literally means business. Before you've even fired your first bullet in the game, it already has your attention. And that's something Far Cry 3 does incredibly well, guys. Something else I completely forgot was just how alive the island feels. At one point I was just simply swimming across the river, minding my own business, and suddenly a crocodile comes flying at me out of nowhere, and I was like, oh shit. It genuinely made me jump for a second. Moments like that can happen constantly in this game. You never really just travel from one objective to another. Animals attack you. Pirates drive past you. Random firefights break out. The island constantly throws little stories at you. Even after all these years, it still managed to surprise me. And then there are the outposts. Like, I captured every single one of them. And honestly, I even challenged myself to clear almost every outpost with a silenced M700 sniper rifle. There's just something so satisfying about lining up that perfect headshot, watching another pirate drop, making sure nobody spotted you, and then finally seeing Outposts liberated. That feeling absolutely never gets old, guys. The same thing happened with the radio towers. Normally, I'm the first guy to complain about repetitive content in video games, but somehow I climbed every single one of them. And I think I finally realized why. Every tower actually rewarded you with new weapons, more options, progression. Even the towers themselves weren't identical. Some were simply easy, and others actually made you think, how do I even get up there? Looking back, almost everything you do in Far Cry 3 rewards you with something meaningful. Better weapons, bigger ammo bags if you get the animal skins, more skills you can unlock the more stuff you do in the game. Even Jason's tattoo slowly grows as he becomes stronger throughout the story. Jason evolves, and so do you as the player. And one thing I absolutely love is that Ubisoft simply wasn't afraid to let you have fun with this game. There's this one mission where you're sitting in the back of a jeep with a freaking grenade launcher, and Ubisoft basically goes, here, just go blow everything up to Kingdom Come. Cars explode, pirates go flying, everything around you is complete chaos. And honestly, I loved every single second of it. And later there is that mission on the sinking ship. For some reason it reminded me of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. For a second I wasn't Jason Brody anymore, I was Tom Cruise trying to survive. Sometimes games don't need to make perfect sense, sometimes they just need to be ridiculously fun, and Ubisoft absolutely nailed it. Then there is that mission, you already know which one I'm talking about, burning the wheat fields down with a flamethrower while Skrillex and Damian Marley blast Make It Burn Them through your freaking speakers, right? Or your headset. If someone explained that mission to me without ever playing Far Cry 3, I'd probably say that sounds super ridiculous, because honestly, it actually is. It shouldn't work, but somehow it fits perfectly. Even today, people still bring up that mission, and that's the definition of an iconic gaming moment. Now, obviously, we also have to talk about Vaas for a second. The guy is an absolute maniac. Every single time Jason meets him, he isn't just trying to kill him, he's trying to mentally break him, confuse him, push him, mess with him. And that's exactly why I think he is still one of the best and greatest villains in video games. A huge part of that is Michael Mando. He absolutely nailed his performance. And honestly, I love to see him play more villains in video games because this role is unforgettable. And what's funny is Hoyt is technically the main villain of Far Cry 3, right? But let's be honest here. Nobody remembers Hoyt first. Sorry for whoever acted as him, but yeah, we don't remember you as much. Everybody remembers Vaas, and I think that says everything. Something I appreciated more this time around was Jason himself. At the beginning, he's scared, completely out of his depth. He's just trying to survive, but little by little, you see him change. Every skill you unlock, every tattoo you earn on your arm, every outpost you liberate, Jason slowly becomes the warrior everyone believes he can be. And because you're growing stronger alongside him, it actually feels believable in a way. Now, don't get me wrong, Far Cry 3 isn't perfect. I'm sorry, guys. Playing on PC, the mouse sensitivity still felt a little bit weird. Some of the fantasy elements weren't really my thing either in the game. But personally, I probably would have kept the story a little bit more grounded. And while Citra plays an important role as well, she never stuck with me the way Vaas did. Years later, I remembered Vaas instantly, and Citra not so much. So, why do I think Far Cry 3 never lost its magic? Honestly, I don't think it's because it was perfect, because it absolutely wasn't. I think it's because it constantly gave me moments I'll probably never forget. Swimming across a river, only to be attacked by a freaking crocodile. Silently clearing an outpost without anyone noticing. Climbing another radio tower because I knew I'd unlock something useful. The weed mission. Vaas. Jason's transformation, driving across Rook Island wondering what's going to happen next. Modern games are bigger, they're prettier, they have more content, but very few of them have given me as many stories that I still remember over a decade later. And I think that's what made Far Cry 3 so special. Not because it was perfect, but because it gave us moments we will never forget. And to me, that's why Far Cry 3 never lost its magic. But let me know what you guys think of Far Cry 3 down in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions on this game. Maybe you like Far Cry 2 more, maybe even Far Cry 1 or a whole different Far Cry game. Let me know down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.